Start.
Hi everyone. In the first part of communication concepts, we discussed what communication means, what are its functions, the process and barriers to communication. Now we have to discuss what are the various methods of communication, especially in a professional organization. Now, communication takes place with two sets of audiences. One is the internal audience, which means the actual employees of the organization, and the other is the external audience, which includes the general society, media, customers, stakeholders, so on and so forth. Now, both kinds of communication are both oral as well as written. There are certain oral tools of communication to internal and external public as well as for the internal public. Now let us see what are those various tools. When we talk about internal oral communication, we have face-to-face discussion, we have messages, telephone or the intercom, meetings and conferences, PowerPoint presentations. So this comprises the internal oral communication. When we talk about internal written communication, the tools used are emails, graphs and charts, reports, fax, notices, intranet, forms or questionnaires, minutes. Minutes are the official records of a meeting which decide who has to take action over a certain decision and what are the various decisions taken in a meeting. Staff newsletters and memo. Memo is a short form memorandum, which is an internal communication tool which is used to either appreciate a person's performance or to denounce a performance or to raise questions over someone's actions. Now let us come to external oral communication. The various tools are meetings, conferences and seminars, conversations, telephones, teleconferences, video conferences, and again presentations. Video conferences these days are also used for internal oral communication when there are more than one branches of a company at geographically different places. Coming over to external written communication, we have the internet, emails, faxes and letters, reports, graphs and charts, notices, advertisements, invitations and press releases for the media. You will read in greater detail about press releases when you do your public relations. And we also have questionnaires and forms, customer newsletters, leaflets and brochures. Having discussed this, it is now important that we discuss what exactly is effective communication. Effective communication is the kind of communication which happens when the relationship between the sender and receiver is really strong. When the message of the sender is understood exactly in the same manner as intended by the sender, then that kind of communication is called effective communication. Here, what has to be borne in mind is the intercultural sensitivities of people, because all concerns these days are global concerns and there are people working from different cultural backgrounds. It is important to be sensitive towards their intercultural sensitivities. Now, what may be taken positively in one culture may not be so for another culture. Say, for example, the kind of proximity that is maintained while interpersonal communication happens between two people. This is different for different cultures. So one must observe them and also be respectful towards them. Now here I'm going to provide a small checklist of how do we communicate effectively across cultures. Focus on this. It is important to show respect towards people from different cultures, to show empathy, that is the feeling of similarity as to how the other person must be feeling. Do not prejudge, do not be judgmental. Be open-minded and flexible. Avoid distractions like appearance or dress. So overdressing or wearing a lot of bling can actually take focus off what you're trying to communicate or say. Be patient. Look for similarities and appreciate them. Send clear messages. Recognize your prejudice. Learn to appreciate and accept when your theories and beliefs are different from other people's. Also, treat people as individuals, not as stereotype of a particular group. Keeping these things in mind, it will be easier to communicate across different cultures in a global concern. That is all with the communication concepts, and I hope your concepts must be okay now.